Bear with me. I wonder if anyone's going to be here today. It's Memorial Day. Are we all on holiday? I feel like we're all on holiday. Good morning, Facebook as well. Good morning, Instagram. Instagram, can you hear me today? I know we had trouble on Friday. Be great if you guys could let me know that you could hear me before I start jumping in. We've been fine on Facebook lately, but hey, it never hurts to say good morning or something, just so I know you can hear me. I'm going to give it a minute or two because of the sound issues I've had. So please, if you can hear me, say you can hear me. All right. Good morning. Good morning, Carrie. Carrie's the first to point out that today is my birthday. Happy birthday to me on Memorial Day. I guess I'm memorable, although I'm not the true heroes today. Honoring Memorial Day today. I hope most of you are as well. Can you guys hear me on Instagram this morning, guys? There was a problem on Friday. None of you could hear me, so I'm worried you can't hear me again. So can someone just say, yay, hello, or something? Thank you, Marty. Happy birthday to me. So I don't know how old I am today. I stopped counting, which I think most people do when they're over 40. They just stop counting. So I did too. All right. So I keep saying it, but no one on Instagram's telling me they can hear me. So I'm a little worried. But hey, I guess hopefully you guys can. Good morning. I'm just going to give it another second and then I'm going to dive in. We're going to talk about acne today. Maybe some reasons why your acne is not getting better, or some things that you should look at, things that can cause it, those types of things. I told you I was 31. Yeah, I might have. I'm not. But I'll be 31 today if that makes people happy. Although, to be honest, Carrie, I don't think I'd go that far back. I think I'd probably go back more to my late 30s than I would my early 30s. But hey, trying to enjoy my birthday. Can anyone on Instagram hear me? You guys are killing me. Just give me a yes, because I didn't find out that you couldn't hear me until like halfway through I rambled last week. People are saying no, they cannot hear me. Great. What is going on? Does anyone know how to turn your microphone back on Instagram if people can't hear you? My microphone on my phone works. So I don't know. Great. Facebook, we may have to come right back because poor Instagram cannot hear me. And I'm going to bring a very good friend on. I don't know what's going on. All right, so I have apparently screwed up Instagram to no end. I don't know why people can't hear me anymore on Instagram Lives. If any of you that are out in social networking can tell me why all of a sudden Instagram cannot hear me so that I can fix it, I'm sure those people over there would be so grateful, because I honestly have no idea how to fix it. So I guess I will log off Instagram. Sorry, guys. Oh, people can hear me now. Oh, good. Okay, yay. I was about to end it. Glad to hear it. So you guys can hear me on Instagram and on Facebook. We're all good? Yes. Okay. Okay. So apparently you have to hit request volume on your end, not on mine. I don't know. All right. Well, anyway, let's jump in then. It is Memorial Day. It is also my birthday. Thanks to all of you that called that out. Happy birthday to me. And I am Dr. Pingel, and this is your morning checkup. And today we're going to talk about acne. And I know most of the time you associate acne with teenagers, right? But let me tell you something. It's reported that over 40% of American adults struggle with acne. Okay, adults. mostly women. So this is not just a teenage problem. Now, I think it's around 85% of teenagers experience acne. So it's a big problem for them as well. And a lot of these remedies that we're going to talk about today work for teenagers and adults, okay? So I want to talk about why, not just what can we put on our face. I want to talk about why acne is exasperated, why acne happens in your adulthood. That's what we're going to talk about today. So hopefully this is of interest to you guys. It was a requested topic by one of my good friends, Natalie. I don't know if she's out there today, but hopefully she's catching it. So let's talk about it. So 75% of Americans say that they're experiencing at least one symptom of stress in the past month. Do you think most of you guys agree with that? I mean, I think most people feel stressed, right? And stress has been shown to have a direct influence on our skin and our skin health, and in particular, acne. So it will absolutely exasperate things. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about that, because guess what? Stress doesn't disappear. And we've spent a lot of time talking about how we internalize stress is what really matters. So we always have stress coming at us, right? We have stuff coming at us all the time. And there's people that let every little tiny thing in. And there's people that just roll it off, okay? So, Pig is playing with a bone that's bigger than Pig. It's like, so she's tossing it. Sorry about the loud noise. So let's talk about ways that you can determine if your acne is stress related, and then other things you can do in regards to your gut health and your digestion that can help with acne. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So science has shown that stress and acne are closely related, okay? And in 2017, they did a study on 144 female medical students, and they found that those that had higher stress levels or internalized stress more had more severe acne than those who didn't. Okay, so there was a direct correlation found there. And another study that was done on teenagers found that there was a significant association between stress levels of teens and the severity of their acne, okay? And there has been many studies that link this to digestion. Now, let me just say, I personally understand the struggle. I've been there. I had beautiful skin as a teenager. I don't think I ever had a zit. And then when I hit about 25 years old, my face just broke out, and nobody could figure out why. Nobody could. I must have spent thousands of dollars on peels, facials, antibiotics, dermatologists, whatnot, trying to get rid of this acne that was just showing up on my cheeks. And it would come and go. It was always there, but it would like exasperate and go away. And nobody could really figure it out. And you know how I fixed it? I looked to naturopathic medicine, I looked for the cause, and found that the cause was in my gut, primarily aggravated by one particular food, which I will talk more about. And since I removed that food, my skin has been back to its normal clear. Now, that's not everybody's case, because everybody's completely different. Sometimes it's multiple foods, sometimes there's stress exasperating it, right? There's always a biochemical individuality to each of you. But it was interesting because after all those years of spending thousands of dollars, not a single doctor asked about the inside. They all looked topically. That's it. They looked at my face, and that was it. Nobody asked about if I was going to the bathroom. Nobody asked about my liver health. Nobody asked about my diet other than, oh, are you eating a healthy diet? That was the question I got. You know, I did get asked if I exercise, but nobody told me what to exercise or how that meant, what that meant for them or me, right? Never did anyone ever ask until I went the naturopathic route, and we had to take a look at the inside and the outside. Keep in mind, the skin is our largest organ. Okay, so, and it's a detoxification organ. So if there's something on the inside that's not happy, the easiest way for a healthy body to get it out is through the skin. That's the fastest way to get it out. So always keep that in mind. When you have a symptom, it's your body trying to tell you something. It's trying to tell you something about that your body doesn't like. right? Something's adapting in your body, and that's why a symptom happens. I mean, a symptom can be positive too, right? If you have a really good mood and you wake up every day joyful, that's a positive symptom, right? And that's a symptom that something's going right. So if you wake up and you're having a lot of breakouts and you can't seem to get over it, you can't seem to get past it, and you're spending all this money, take a moment to look inside, okay? Someone's asking about sugar. Absolutely, sugar can aggravate acne, but that's a common one that people think of. I'm gonna throw some at you that maybe you didn't think about, because that's why we're here, to learn new things, right? Good morning, Bill, by the way. Bill is the man that keeps track of my mugs. Today says sleepy. I'm actually not that sleepy today, but this was the mug that my children chose when they brought me coffee this morning in bed for my birthday. So I guess I'm supposed to be sleepy today. All right. So let's talk about how stress impacts our system and therefore our skin. So stress itself, as we've talked about numerous times before, keeps you in a sympathetic nervous system state, a go, 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 a fight or flight, okay, which means you're less time in a rested state, resting and digesting. Now, what do we do when we're in a rested state? We detoxify our liver, we absorb nutrients, right? We digest our food. These are the things that we have to do to keep our skin clear. So if you're constantly in a stressed state, you will not absorb nutrients properly. You will not, all your inputs and outputs will be impacted. Your liver detoxification will be slower. So we can spend all sorts of time saying, well, it could be sugar, it could be chocolate, it could be processed foods. Sure, that's part of it. Okay, that's the part up here that you're putting in your mouth. But what happens when it goes through also matters as well. You could be eating a healthy diet and still have trouble detoxifying your liver. Okay, so it's not 100% diet. That's a piece of the puzzle. So I want to talk about the whole puzzle, right? So stress slows your digestion. That can result in constipation or not as full of bowel movements, malabsorption, and leaky gut. All of those are shown and been linked to acne in adults, in teenagers, doesn't matter. Interestingly, the foods you eat can also impact this process. Now, not only because they're processed or full of junk, but also because you absorb things at different rate. For example, I have lower stomach acid. If I eat meat, which I don't, but if I did, it wouldn't digest well in me. It would just sit there. Right? So if there's certain foods that you eat that just sit there, those aren't good for your body. That can also cause inflammation, response, and acne. So everybody is very, very different in that respect. But in my clinical experience, okay, and personal experience, the one food that got rid of my acne in 2 weeks was dairy. Took out the cow's milk. I know. Don't throw milk duds at me. I know you want to. I know. I'd prefer tomatoes, milk duds. Most people do not want to give up dairy when I tell them to give up dairy, and I want you to think about that. Is that really hard to give up? If it's that hard to give up, then your body is addicted to it. If your body is addicted to it, then something's not right. It's causing a reaction that's causing a craving, okay? So just think about that. Dairy, in my opinion, has been linked the most to the cases that I've seen with acne, particularly adult acne and particularly the deep ones on the cheeks, okay? Just throwing that out there. Don't get mad at me, okay? Now, I'm not alone in that. There was a 2005 study that revealed that there's a 20% increase in the prevalence of acne in people who drink milk. Okay, so that could be an underlying cause. Now, compound that with stress, where you're not absorbing even further, you're having poor digestion, poor liver health, and now that acne will flare. So now you've got a baseline acne from something you're eating, and then you've got flares due to stress. So stress can cause it directly, and it can also flare an underlying issue, okay? So in addition to affecting your liver and your digestive system, stress can actually cause your body to be in a more stimulated state, right? Less rest and digest. Well, during that rest and digest time, that's when we repair our cells. Okay, so our skin is constantly regenerating, sloughing off, regenerating, sloughing off, regenerating. I mean, that's kind of the basis behind facials, dermatology, when it comes to acne or wrinkles or anything. You know, people talk about collagen, they talk about exfoliation, they talk about this because that's sloughing the skin is important. If you're spending time in sympathetic response, you're spending less time regenerating those cells. Okay, so it's very important to, when stress comes at you, to take it in a calm manner. Now that sounds crazy, and for those new to my lives, you'll want to go back and watch some other lives. I talk about how to improve vagal tone, how to reduce your stress, ways that you can interpret stress, reframe stress. These are all very, very important tools to have, even for something like acne. Crazy. And someone's talking about bacterial on phones touching face. Yes, once you have the acne, and its lesion, any lesion has the potential to spread bacteria. Now, if your hands are clean and you're simply touching your face, I don't believe that that's necessarily going to cause the acne. I think the acne has to already be there, okay, in order for that to make a difference. Now, if you're touching all sorts of things and rubbing your face, I suppose if your skin integrity isn't very good, or you have cuts or lesions or anything that can get bacteria in there, that could work. Phones are notorious for carrying bacteria. Often you'll see them clog the pores, like the sweat pores, when you're sitting on your phone like this. So someone hears irritation in my voice? No, well, I don't know. Well, welcome to the show. I'm not irritated. I'm just passionate. That's passion you hear, not irritation. Just so you know, passion. There's a difference. I'm not irritated. I'm actually quite happy today. But if it gives you anxiety, then, you know, I don't know what to say. Thank you. All of you are still saying happy birthday. Thank you so much. All right, so if you're more in that sympathetic state, you're not going to regenerate your cells as well. Okay, so here are some signs that your acne might actually be related to stress or aggravated by stress. One, you're over 20. So if we're talking about adult acne and we're talking about the 40% of adults that have acne, they're more likely to be stress-induced in some way than, say, a teenager. Now, the teenagers may come from an overload of hormones or from changes going in their body, nutrition, and then that can be aggravated by stress. If we're looking for the ultimate cause or the starting point of where it came from, stress is more likely to be the starting point in adults, okay, than it is in children, but definitely aggravated. Okay, teens are under a lot of stress right now. I just talked to a good friend whose teen is under a lot of stress. So, I mean, there's just stress. There's stress surrounding us all the time, okay? Now, like I said, 85% of teens experience acne, 40% of adults. 40% of adults. Almost half of you at some point in your life, right? Now, obviously, if you break out during times of stress, you can link that to stress, right? You know that there's something going on there. But here's the thing. When cortisol is released, not only does it directly affect your skin, and typically down here in the lower region, but cortisol has an impact on your hormones, okay? And if you are chronically stressed, your hormones will become imbalanced. When your hormones become imbalanced, we have some issues in the skin, not only because it throws the liver off, but just direct release of hormones. So one of the most common treatments out there for acne is the birth control pill, right? Sounds easy, except if the hormones are triggered by cortisol and you just fix the hormone component, but you don't fix the cortisol component, then the cortisol is going to find another way to give you acne. So I have seen people who go on the birth control pill and it cleans up the chin, and then they start getting acne all over their cheeks, their forehead, and their back. Right? Just moved it. You have to look at the whole picture, guys, and really always take assessment of how you internalize stress. When something comes at you, how do you react? And if you don't react well, that's the key to your future health. You have to change that, okay? But yes, hormones are involved. Too many hormones, too little hormones, imbalance of hormones, bogging down of hormones in the liver, all of which aggravated 100% by stress. A lot of people are saying eating too much greasy, unhealthy food. Depends. Once again, we'll talk about that. So, you know, a lot of people associate acne in this T-zone with oil, you know, on the cheeks with intestinal or liver problems, and the chin with hormone or stress. Not always the case, but always kind of a good indicator if you see things moving around, because acne, if you don't hit the cause, it will continue to spread. You know, and then you get caught in like this hamster wheel again where you're not even sure where to start. So you really have to back up a little bit, take a look at a few different things. Am I under stress? How are my hormones? What am I eating? So let's talk about that on ways to get rid of these acne breakouts. Are you guys doing okay out there? I'm not triggering any more anxiety attacks with my passion. Thank you, all you happy birthday. You guys are so sweet. I don't know how old I am today, and I'm just not even going to look it up. Why? I'm 24 hours older than I was yesterday, so that works for me. All right, so number one, as we've talked about, learning to manage stress is key in acne. And you have to really be self-aware for this. I catch so many people that say, oh, I'm not under stress. I have a great life. You know, I have a great husband. I have a great job. I have this or that. I'm not under stress. Trust me. Everyone's under stress. It's really how you internalize it, if you're able to access that parasympathetic nervous system, if you're able to calm yourself down, if you're breathing, right? If you're having a lot of random symptoms, you need to take assessment at your stress, right? Especially if people aren't finding anything or they're just treating with symptomology, okay? Very important. For those of you new to my lives, I have a ton of articles on this. Articles, lives, all this stuff at drpingel.com that will help you learn how to recognize the stress and give you tips and tools on how to manage it. Okay, so check out drpingel.com. There's tons of articles. There's a lot. You kind of have to scroll through them, but there's a search, so you can type in stress, and I'm sure you'll get a big list. My YouTube channel has a bunch of lives as well. We talked last week about increasing vagal tone by stimulating the vagus nerve, and I think that's a really key part to help with stress. I had someone last week ask me, she said, if you could tell someone one thing that they could do to lower their stress response, what would you say? And I thought that was a fabulous question. And my answer was, teach the person how to improve their vagal tone. So how to improve stimulation of the vagus nerve to activate the parasympathetic nervous system. And how you do that, there's many different ways, okay? All right, so reducing stress. Now, as far as the gut, keep this in mind. This is all one unit, right? We put food in, it goes down, it's broken down, it's absorbed, and it's eliminated. So to only treat part of that is a mistake. So a lot of people are like, well, it's sugar, well, it's unprocessed foods, well, it's chocolate. Okay, that excess is the first part. Okay, what you put into your mouth does matter. Okay, we need plants, we need minerals, we need foods. Some of the foods that are great for skin, green leafy vegetables, so you can get all those minerals, you know, anything with high vitamin C and antioxidants, berries, kiwi, definitely a lot of leafy greens are always very important. Look at the foods that could possibly be causing a reaction with you. How would you know that? You eat the food, you feel a little like full, like 30 minutes later, like it's not quite digesting, or mucus in the back of the throat, or you feel tired after you eat it. A lot of people say they feel tired after they eat sugar. Just keep that in mind. Or like a lot of people, when they eat dairy, they get mucus in the back of their throat, right? So that's a sign that the body may not like it. Now, if you'd like a cue as to the foods that tend to be the most aggravating to the skin, in my experience, they are dairy, gluten, eggs, soy, and corn. I know, your whole diet was just totally blown. Sorry. But if you really have acne and you want to look at what's causing it, those are the foods I would start with first. If those foods do not make a difference in your skin, and you would have to eliminate them, I would say for at least 6 weeks. But if those don't make a difference in your skin, I would suggest getting food allergy testing or having a functional medicine doctor or a naturopathic doctor look further into the cause of what's aggravating the gut. So number one, what you put in matters. Then it hits the stomach and it has to start being broken down. This is where I bring in apple cider vinegar, and there's someone who's on roll with me. Bill, you were right on with me, man, today. Good job. Right on to apple cider vinegar, which is a great way to help the acid in the stomach break down foods. Now, granted, not all of you can take it, okay? Watch my apple cider vinegar live Read my article, talk to your doctor. You know, there's never a one fix for everybody, but something like apple cider vinegar, digestive enzymes, those types of things can help starting the breakdown in the stomach, okay, into the small intestine. Now we move into the small intestine. What's the goal of the small intestine? To absorb nutrients. So if you're not breaking stuff down, you're not absorbing nutrients. If you're not absorbing nutrients, your liver's not going to be very happy, nor is your skin. So we want to make sure that we're putting good food in, we're breaking it down, and then if you already have some sort of reaction or inflammatory response in the intestine, there are a ton of herbs you can use. I have done a different live on this. Anything that's anti-inflammatory. So slippery elm, aloe vera. I use glutamine a lot. MSM, there's a wide variety of things, and I do have more information on anti-inflammatory intestinal herbs, so check that out. A lot of the time, if I have somebody with a really inflamed gut, a leaky gut, an inflamed gut, chronic acne, I have to go that route and get that inflammation down in the gut. When there is inflammation in the gut, most likely bowel movements are not great. Okay, so I love chlorophyll. Someone's asking about chlorophyll. Great option for minerals, for mineral of the skin. I love chlorophyll. I like putting it in smoothies and things like that. Good suggestion. That's great for the skin. But digestion matters. So I need to do a live on constipation, and I will, because it really kind of irks me. Okay, for whoever's irked by irritation, hang on. It kind of irks me because you know, we're not called constipated until we haven't gone to the bathroom for, like, I think we can go 3 times a week and we're still considered normal. That irks me. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. If your infant only poops 3 days a week, you're freaked out. Okay? They eat, you go. That's at least once a day. So if you're not, you need to take assessment of that, especially if you're seeing problems in your skin. I see it linked to poor elimination constantly, okay? So in order to eliminate, what do you need? I think, you'd think it'd be 3 times a day. No. Look it up at the American Medical Association, and it's 3 times a week is considered normal. I don't know. So water. Water is key. Water is not only key for our skin because it's 50% water, but because water helps us eliminate. So what's the minimum, everybody, of water that you should be having? You guys should learn this, right? Half your body weight in ounces. So if you're 200 pounds, you need at least 100 ounces of water a day, at least. Okay? So I had someone the other day, I asked, how much water are you drinking? And they said, oh, I drink a great amount. I probably drink, 4 glasses a day. I do pretty well. And I said, well, how big are the glasses? And he said, 8 ounces, the normal, 4 to 5 glasses a day. Whatever. And he's 200 pounds. And I was like, well, you're at like a quarter of your requirement. No wonder you're exhausted, right? You got to get your hydration levels up. It also helps you go to the bathroom. Okay. So when we're talking about liver health, there was a study on one of my favorite herbs for liver health, okay, milk thistle. And there was a study in 2012 that said that those that supplemented with milk thistle for 8 weeks experienced, listen to this, a 53% reduction in acne. Now, I don't even think that the birth control pill or salicylic acid or retinol can say 53%. 53% is a good finding. Now, milk thistle is one of those herbs that you have to talk to your doctor about because it can change the way you metabolize other medications. So you need to make sure that you know the dosage that's right for you. But it does have great results on the skin. It's something that I personally take every night. In combination with some other liver herbs. I love milk thistle. If it's something that your doctor approves for you, particularly for acne, it's had some pretty good results. As far as topically, there's so much stuff out there. It's hard to know, like what beauty products do you use? What do you put topically on acne? And everyone's a little bit different. But I'll give you a couple of my tips that have gotten me through the last few years. Lavender essential oil is anti-inflammatory and antimicrobial. So You can put lavender oil on the actual acne lesion and it helps quite well. Now, if it's one of those really deep cystic lesions, you can use tea tree oil. I will caution you, tea tree oil needs to be used in a small amount. So just put a dot on it. Those people who use the tea tree oil washes, where it washes the whole face with tea tree oil, tend to get overly dry. If you get overly dry, guess what? Your skin will naturally produce more oil. So it will go and it will cause breakouts in areas where it's trying to increase more oil. You never want to over dry your skin, okay? Skin needs water, it needs hydration. So using it like just to dab on can work quite well. So that's a great option. Apple cider vinegar, believe it or not, 50% of apple cider vinegar and water can actually help with redness. So like, let's say you have a big event coming up and you have some acne lesions, you can do like a apple cider vinegar mask. Lavender oil is also great for that. So those are some topical things. So the bottom line is, when you're looking at any type of skin condition, but in particular acne today, you need to look at not only external, you need to look at internal. Bill says, I need a birthday mug. I do. And now that stores are opening here in Arizona, I'll go try to find one. You need to look at internal and external. Okay, so you need to look at what's happening inside the body and what's happening in the exterior of the body. And you have to balance these two things. Stress, very pivotal. Please, I can't say this enough. Guys, life does not have to be as stressful as we make it. There are always stressful times, and we always have the ability to pull ourselves through it if we try to keep a good mind about it. It's not easy. It takes a lot of practice. This is not something you can do overnight. I've been working on my stress response for about 20 years now, and every few months I get a little bit better. Still nowhere close to where I need to be, but that's okay, because this is a process and it's practice, and that's life. And it's okay to screw up and it's okay to get stressed, but the length of time that you stay in that stress state should be getting less over time if you're doing your work. So if a stressful event used to spin you out of control for 3 days, maybe now it only spins you out of control for 2 hours. You know, it's a process. It's a learning process. Very, very important. Take a look at your digestion. Okay, take a look at what you're putting in. Take a look at what's coming out. Take a look on if you're bloating. Do you have reflux? Do you have other digestive issues that might be exasperating the acne? Those are things that are very, very important. If you need help figuring this out, check out a naturopath in your area or a functional doctor in your area. I have tons of stuff at drpingel.com, drpingel.com. Tons of articles. My YouTube channel has a lot of lives. I will be here Monday through Friday around this time. By the way, Friday I might be a little bit early because I have somewhere to be at this time on Friday. So my live will probably be a little bit early, but remember to find inside and outside, and remember that we are connected from top to bottom. We are connected. Everything impacts everything else. The solution is never just looking at one thing. You have to look at it all, and acne is no exception to that, okay? So take a look at your entire system. I want you guys to go out, have a great Memorial Day, and honor those to honor today, and I know that a lot of people can't have large barbecues. It'll be a small little celebration, but you know, try to enjoy your family today, your day off. Much love to all of you. Thank you for being here, and I will be here tomorrow on Tuesday around the same time, 9:30, with a new topic. So thanks. Have a great day, guys.